Hello and welcome back to another video. Today, as I mentioned in previous videos gone by, that once the agitating is done and the slurry is done, we'll be cleaning out the slatted house and the slats. Well, as you can see, the slats, the passageway and the slats here are cleaned. The old man did that last week as I'm recording this video. So he has the slats and the passageway done. He has the calf creep done as well. So he was fairly busy last week. I was at silage. You can see the mower is there. That's the brother was mowing. I was on the wine drawer or the rake. So I was currently away, busy. But yeah, that doesn't mean that there's no power washing left to do or anything like that, because we have to power wash the pens that the cows will be going into when they're calving, and if they're injured or anything. So these pens have to be cleaned out and ready for when the calving season starts, and then we'll go and disinfect them and all that. But also there's piles of dried out cow poo and leftover silage and stuff, so that also needs to be put into the box and gotten rid of. So there's that to do, and there's to power wash all this. So even though the old man done most of the power washing, which obviously if I was around I would have done it myself and made a video of it, but obviously you can't get what you always want. But yeah, we still have the two pens to power wash, and I might even power wash where the tractors are there. And the concrete outside as well, where we were agitating slurry, we might power wash out here as well. Now, as you can, it's slightly raining as well, so it might dry up. But as you can see, we have two IBCs on a trailer. They're full of water. There's a pipe, just a little hose, an ordinary garden hose pipe going into a barrel. So the water from the IBC is going through that pipe and into that white barrel. And that's the power wash that you put on the back of a tractor. So we'll be putting it on the back of our International 674. Obviously that's the hose for the power washer, goes all the way down there. The lance is just there. So we put that on the back of the International, and it's just basically powered by a PTO, which builds up, which then the water, this sucks the water into the pump. The PTO then pressurizes it and shoots it down the power washer pipe through the lance, and that's what gives it the power at the end. That's a very basic, simplified explanation of how the power washer works. Anyways, enough of the talking. We'll tune up the 135 there. We'll have to also back out the International and get it hooked up to the power washer. But first of all, we might as well do that because it's in front. So we'll get the International ready on the power washer, and then we'll tune up the 135 and get all that stuff put into the box, and then we'll start power washing out these pens. So the pile of stuff that was there is cleaned, and the pile of stuff that was there is cleaned, and all put into the box. Now this stuff, it probably will be thrown into the box, but I need to wait for the old man to come back and see what he wants to do with it, because that was over the winter with just bad bits of silage, or silage that the cattle didn't eat. We just threw it here, and then we used it as an alternative to straw for bedding, because we were running low on straw at the time. And plus, you know, everything's gone up in price. Bales of straw has gone up in price. So we use anything, any bit of hay that the cattle don't eat, or any bit of silage that the cattle don't eat. Sometimes we just use it as bedding, and they still lie on it. It's still comfortable. It's basically the same. So now the next thing to do, now that that's cleaned up, is to power wash this. I'll power wash the mats first, the tops of them. I'll then probably lean them up against the wall, do the undersides of them, and then I'll bring them out there somewhere. And if any bit of dirt is on them when I'm bringing them out, I'll just go over with the power washer very quickly and just get any bits that may have appeared on it after I wash them. And then I can just power wash the whole pen out. There might be some heavier muck and stuff underneath the tins here, underneath the mats and in between it, so I can come out with a scraper or a shovel and shovel it up and put it into the box. And then obviously the same here, there's a lot of heavy stuff here as well. Do the same with the mats once I have all that cleaned out. I have to be careful with the walls. You mightn't be able to see it now, but the plaster tends to come off it a small bit if you come too close with the power washer. So I'll be a nice bit back with the power washer. It might take that a little bit longer to clean any of the stuff off the walls, because the further back you go with the power washer, the less pressure the water has. But if I go too close, the whole plaster on the wall will start peeling off, and we do not want that. So I'll be a bit back when I'm power washing the walls, just because of the plaster situation, but it should all come off anyways. We do actually have an old scraper, a little red scraper, so I could even scrape the likes of that off if the power washer isn't getting to it. But yeah, we'll find, if the power washer isn't able to do it, we'll find a way to do it anyways. And another thing I forgot to mention in the intro was this crush here. This also needs to be power washed and scraped out, but I mightn't do that in this video. It depends. I think those 2 pens are enough for a video. It's only power washing. But as I mentioned, those 2 pens will have to be done. I'll do that in hopefully this video. This will have to be power washed out where the tractors do park. That crush has to be power washed out. And then out where we were doing the slurry, might have to get a lick at the power washer as well. But I won't be doing all that in a video, because it mightn't be as... that video might be too long and get too boring, because it's only power washing and stuff. It's basically the same thing over and over again. So I won't bore you with all that. But that's the stuff in the box. I have the power washer connected to the tractor. When I turn on the tractor and rev up the engine a bit, the lifts will come up. It's just because the tractor is turned off that the lift went down. Because I had to have the lift up to put on the PTO shaft anyway. So when the tractor is running, the whole lift will come up. I also better not forget to turn on the tap there for the IBC. And then once that runs dry, we'll have to transfer the hose to that IBC and let the water, you know. So I will start up the tractor, start up the power washer, make sure everything is working okay, and we'll get to power washing out that pen there. There was a lot of heavier muck there, so I've sort of power washed it out towards the gate here. I'll get the brush and I'll sweep it all up, pile it there and throw it into the box. And what I might do is give all this pen just a quick sweep out with the brush or with the scraper, and just try and get any more of the heavier stuff away from it and get a lot of this water away as well. And then I can have a better view of the ground and see what's clean and what isn't clean, and then we can get at the wall, power wash that down. Hopefully it'll be easy enough, but as I mentioned, I'll have to be a bit back from the wall with the power washer itself because the plaster will start peeling off up. So yeah, we'll get the brush, we'll brush it all out that way as well, and we'll see then what the floor is like. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but under the mats, or where the mats were, seems to be all right. It's not too bad because it was sort of, the mats were keeping it sheltered and no muck or poo or anything like that was getting to it. But then you can kind of see where the mats end, and then the open concrete that was exposed to all that sort of stuff is way darker in colour. So and as you can see there, the power wash sort of took a small bit of it off there. So this bit here, you can see that it's darker in colour. I need to go over that with the power washer, I think, before I do the walls, because all the stuff will be loose anyways. So yeah, I'll go over this first with the power washer, see how I get on, and then I'll do the walls, and then I could either just use the power washer then to, once the walls is clean and all that stuff is lying on the ground, I can either use the brush to brush it out there, or just use the power washer and just sort of guide it out that direction. But yeah, we'll see how we get on with this bit first. I think that's that pen more or less cleaned out. But that's that pen cleaned out. I'll throw the mats back down, and then I'll just go over them very quickly once more with the power washer to take any bit of flaky dirt that's lying on them. And then that's that pen fully done. And then it's to tackle into this one. All scraped out and loaded into the box. So now it's the same procedure as what we done in that pen. So clean the top off, clean the mats off with the power washer, probably put them here somewhere, do the bottoms of them, and then power wash any of the heaviest stuff on the ground with the power washer out towards the box, and then go back and then start getting all the darker stuff that's tinted into the concrete, get all that cleaned, go over the walls, and that's that pen done. So I think we might just do a big time lapse of all that, because you've seen a lot of that already over there and I've already explained it. So I think one just big continuous time lapse of me doing all that might do it. So put the camera down, set it up somewhere, and let's get at the second pen and get this one cleaned out. Well, that's 2 pens cleaned. The first one here, you can see it's fairly clean. And this one here, well, once all the water evaporates off the ground, you'll have a clearer visual of how clean it is, just like that one there, which is a tiny bit wet, but it's more drier than this pen here at the moment. But yeah, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I have a few very long clips, but those clips are going to be sped up. They're going to be time-lapse. There's going to be there's going to be music over them, so you know, like a 10-minute, a 20-minute, or even a 30-minute clip could be shortened down to a 2-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute clip. So yeah, hopefully the video isn't too long, but I won't know until I'm editing it. And we're also on our second IBC. The water level is there, so it's about just over halfway. So actually there's a leak there, but to turn that off. There we go. The barrel is near empty. That's up in the sky, but it'll slowly go down to the ground because the tractor's turned off. But yeah, I know it's not the most entertaining video, power washing out pens and stuff, but as you can see, it's been raining. You can see puddles everywhere. So yeah, it's not, the next couple of days is promised wet, so it's not many days or opportunities for like silage and all that. So we have to do sort of indoor jobs we have to do jobs that go with the weather we're getting. So if it's raining, we do indoor jobs like power washing out the shed, or we'll be in the workshop building something or making something or fixing something. And then on good days, we'll be at silage or slurry or anything like that. So yeah, we just have to work with whatever days we have weather-wise. We have a couple of days coming in the next week or so that has good weather. So if that doesn't change, it's promised fairly good for a few days next week. And we do have a bit of topping to do. We have 2 fields to top. There's rushes starting to grow in one field where we have our Wainland heifers, and now that they're small and green, we are going to get the topper at them. And on the subject of topper, we have our one rebuilt and all put back together and was used one day. So there we go. That's a brand new PTO shaft cover. I know how people react when there's no PTO cover on a PTO shaft on the videos. And this, I think, is a 4-meter length bit of rope, which starts, that's one end and that's the other end, and it's just looped in a clip here. So yeah, this will be used for the 2 topping days, or the 2 topping fields, the 2 fields that need topping. Obviously I mentioned the one where the heifers are, the rushes are just starting to grow and they're small and green, and we just didn't get time this year to go and spray them. So yeah, we're going topping them. And then there's another field, basically a forest of rushes. So we'll have 2 tractors and 2 toppers on that case. We have our old contractor's topper still here on the yard. So we'll have our International and this topper here. And then we'll either have the uncle's 188 or our old contractor's 398 and his topper. And someone will go over with the topper, lift it and chop them high. And then the other person then will come and then chop it with the topper on the ground. So yeah, that's going to be a busy day of topping. But that's the 2 pens power washed. As I mentioned, I have to power wash the crush here and this passage rib. I'm not going to do that in this video or in any video because power washing isn't really the most entertaining videos that you can sort of publish. So yeah, anyways, the 2 pens are cleaned. I'm happy out, and that is going to be the end of today's video. So if you liked it, please do give it a like. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe, and turn the bell on to be notified of every future video I upload. Don't forget to check out my merch. I have brand new merch out there. It's Project 135 branded merch. So yeah, if you want to go and check that out, the link to the merch will be down in the description. Don't forget to check out the Gate Mate. The link to that will also be in the description. And that is it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.